So, in just the last week or so, we got three updates from Elon Musk's companies that, on the surface, seem totally unrelated. But when you really look at them, you realize they're not separate stories at all. They're actually all chapters in this massive, unfolding narrative about technology, humanity, and a really specific vision of the future. Okay, let's get into it. This is Kenneth. He's a patient in Neuralink's newest trial, and with that one sentence, he said something that basically changes everything we thought was possible. But the road to that incredible moment, well, it started with a really devastating diagnosis.
So, to really understand the weight of what Kenneth said, we need to dig into his story and this absolutely groundbreaking project from Neuralink called the Voice Study. Back in January of 2024, Kenneth was diagnosed with ALS. What this disease does, basically, is it attacks the connections, the wiring, if you will, between the brain's commands and the rest of the body. And for a huge majority of people with ALS, somewhere between 80 and 95%, it eventually means losing the ability to speak. His wife said the most painful part was the silence that just slowly started to fill their home. And that is the very problem Neuralink is trying to solve. Now, what's so fascinating here is that this trial is a completely different beast than Neuralink's first one. That was all about moving a cursor, up, down, left, right. Speech is just infinitely more complicated. So the team put the N1 implant way deeper in the brain, right in the area that handles speech. They're not detecting sound, they're detecting the raw intention to speak, right at the source, even when the muscles can't follow through anymore. The training process itself was just remarkable. So in phase 1, Kenneth used what little voice he had left so the AI could learn to map his brain's intent to the actual words. By February, in phase 2, his voice was pretty much gone, but the system had learned to decode the brain signals for just silently mouthing the words. And then came phase 3, Imagine Speech. The system could now decode his thoughts without him having to move at all. The researchers said the progress was like going from 0 to 100 almost overnight. And this just perfectly shows the huge leap forward we're talking about. Think about Stephen Hawking. He used a synthesizer, right? But it needed a physical switch, like a twitch in his cheek, and it produced that famous robotic voice. Neuralink is a direct interface with the brain. And, even more personally, they took old audio recordings of Kenneth and created a custom voice for him. So when his wife heard it say, "I love you," she didn't hear a machine. She heard, in her words, the OG Kenneth, his actual voice. Okay, so we started with restoring the voice of one person. Now the story zooms out a bit, to the scale of the household. And this next chapter is all about a new vehicle coming from Tesla. For years, years, people have been asking Tesla for a larger, family-friendly vehicle. The whole conversation got kicked off again recently when someone posted a picture showing you could fit 3 car seats in the back of a Cybertruck. And everyone was like, okay, cool, but can you please just build a minivan already? And Elon's response was, of course, classic Elon, something way cooler than a minivan is coming. And that just set off a firestorm of speculation. But the real reason this is happening now points to a massive strategic shift going on inside Tesla's factories. See, by early 2026, Tesla's lineup is going to be in the middle of a major change. The Model S and X are being phased out to make room for Optimus production. And that leaves this huge gap for families that need more than 5 seats. Because let's be real, the Model Y's third row has always been a pretty tight squeeze. The market is just primed for something new. And it turns out Tesla has already given us a little clue. If you were watching the Master Plan Part 4 video like a hawk, you might have spotted a little teaser of a vehicle built on the Cybertruck platform. It had that same angular stainless steel vibe, but with a much taller roof and a cabin that was clearly designed to haul a lot of people. It really seems like the plans for this new family vehicle are already well underway. And now we scale up one more time. We went from the individual to the household, and now we go to the entire planet. This week, we got our first real look at Optimus Gen 3, and it really, truly feels like we're witnessing the arrival of something new. The program director for Optimus posted a photo of the engineering team gathered around the new prototype. It's finished in this sleek black and has this muscular, athletic build that is just a world away from the earlier designs. It really does look less like a machine and more like, as Elon said, a person in a suit. But what's really fascinating is what's on the inside. In the background of that photo, you could see an older model with its chest panel open. And tons of people noticed that the main computer looks almost exactly like Tesla's full self-driving computer. So you could say Optimus doesn't just have a big heart, it literally thinks with its heart.
Elon has already confirmed that Gen 3 is up and walking around. It just needs some finishing touches. And those touches probably include these incredible new hands. They have 22 degrees of freedom, and they use this super complex, tendon-driven system that gives them dexterity that is getting unbelievably close to human.
And you have to understand, this is not just some R&D project. With the Fremont factory already being retooled, the goal is a production rate of 1 million units a year. So this is the key takeaway. We are officially watching this thing go from a cool prototype to the birth of a mass-produced labor force, one that could redefine the entire global economy. So, how do these three stories, a voice from the mind, a new family vehicle, and a humanoid robot, how do they all connect? Well, they all point to one single cohesive vision of the future. We've seen how this vision just scales outward. It starts by restoring autonomy and capability to the individual with Neuralink. Then it moves up to solving problems for the household with a new kind of vehicle. And finally, it scales to the entire planet by completely reimagining labor with Optimus. For Elon Musk, true abundance isn't just about having cheaper cars or more stuff. It's a future where everyone gets a second chance to live their best life, no matter the biological hand they were dealt. True abundance includes bringing back human capability. For someone like Kenneth, it means getting his voice back, which, as he said, is a very important thing to have. And this all leads to a final, really crucial question. These technologies aren't just tools. They're becoming extensions of us, restorations of our own humanity. So as we move into this future, we have to ask ourselves, when technology can give us back our voices, our ability to move, and even our time, what does that truly mean for our potential?